Welcome back. Well, the title says it all. We are building a productivity application, and it's probably not what you think. We are neither building a task manager, nor do we do any note-taking app, but it will be the one to rule them all. Something we don't believe in, that there is a productivity app out there that can actually replace them all. And we're building an all-in-one productivity solution, but not to replace them all, but to consolidate all of them. And that's what we want to talk about this today.
Well, too many things happened simultaneously. It was the Apple event, then some other things related to software like DIA, that they allowed people who are using Arc, the browser, they launch it. And well, we didn't want to be an exception, and that's why we bet on software too. And we decided to become, again, software engineers and launch something interesting for the people.
Well, going down the rabbit hole with all the obstacles, having software development and all thanks to the amazing improvements in AI coding as well. It would have been impossible to build this. I mean, I can clearly state the current state, it's not even finished. The current state, at least $50,000 for a development team to build. If we would have hired a company building this application, just going through the thought process of thinking about how this will look like. So, and within 2 weeks, this was done. And it's always amazing when I'm coding together with AI. And for those who are on my personal channel might see the details if you want to. But whenever I do this, AI always tells me how long it will take to implement this. So the first initial state, 1 to 5 days, the other one, 3 to 6 weeks, and then, months. And then within a few hours, you have all this implemented without issues. We will see how many issues we will get. But what is this app all about? Why is there a reason to launch this app for our community? Well, there are many reasons. First of all, those who are following the paperless movement might know in 2018, I launched the first website of the paperless movement, and there was already a tool comparison platform there for note-taking apps. And this got a lot of you get excited. There was nothing like this back then, not even GetApp or something like that. And then we tried it again in 2022. I think it was when we...
I think it was 23, I think.
23, we tried to build the ICOR tool finder on the website, because based on the initial thing that we had in 2018, and that's where we said, no, that's not the route that we want to go to, because it would always us who are updating the tools, the features and all this. That's a business itself. And as you can see with Tool Finder, previously Keep Productive, right? They have built an amazing website with exactly these features, and they're maintaining this. They have to be up to date with the tools and so on. That's not something that we are here for at the Paperless Movement. Our business is based in the foundation of our ICOR methodology. And based on this ICOR methodology, it was now able to create an application that visualizes the tools that you're using linked to our method, that we teach. But also if you know the productivity system check that you've been doing in the past 2 years, there was just a quiz that people can go through to realize how good or bad is their system going. That was a free quiz. This is also implemented in the application now, and everything is interconnected. So now people get recommendations based on their quiz, what lesson of our courses watch to next, what to focus on in their productivity system. And the tools that they lay out on the ICOR framework, so those who are following us probably very well aware about the ICOR framework, which is a Venn diagram of overlapping different parts of your productivity system end to end. There you can now visually lay out your tools digitally. It gets saved in your user profile. And then based on this, we have the information about how you are using the tools. And this is a powerful conclusion that we ended up with this application, that, well, we consider it the next generation of a tool finder. In this, it's a community-driven tool finder. It's not based on the highest bidding sponsor and you get featured tools or something like that. There will be no advertising or anything like this. It will be solely based on the input of the community to see how they are using these tools, and it will automatically categorize these tools. And therefore, when you then go to the analytics part, there you can see something like, might know from Amazon, right? Where you go, people who bought this also bought this, and you get a recommendation based on this. And the same will happen there. You will see when you have Todoist in there, in your tool stack, and you click on it, then you will see the tools that other people who are also using Todoist, what other tools they are using. And also, as this is a professional platform, you have your job title, your industry, and so on filled out in your profile anyway. And now you can even filter by your industry and job title and see what others say. Well, it's wide, the combinations that we can do there. And this will be just the MVP, the launch version of the tool, because from there, this goes a long way, how we can give you even more information about your tool stack and how to improve your tool combination and things like that. Well,
the thing is that when we created ICOR, we wanted to deliver something useful, and that's why we also deliver a couple of tools, okay? That were the ICOR framework and the ICOR note-taking framework. Those were two tools, okay, that we deliver so that people
can... static tools, right?
Yeah, it was a simple implementation because we are always trying to make things simple, okay? That's one of our core values, okay? To simplify the complicated world of productivity, because that's what our busy professionals are looking for. They don't need to be productivity nerds, okay, to be productive and also to interact with tools, okay, with software without any problem. And that's what we have been constantly working towards. And this is, another iteration of our vision, okay, because what we have made is move one of those tools, the ICOR framework, that we consider that is the starting point of everything. That's the starting point of the ICOR journey. That's the week 0 live session in our inner circle program, okay, the direct coaching that we deliver, because it's the starting point of everything, okay? It's like creating a map of your tool stack following a specific criteria, okay, because it's based on the concepts that we have delivered in the ICOR methodology. And the point is that was a static thing, okay, things that were done in Miro, okay, as a starting point, the software tool. But we wanted to do something that can be interactive, okay, and also that people can constantly go back to check our productivity system, okay, because we have merged two important things, okay, that is the productivity system check, that it's another tool that we deliver to the busy professionals, that by replying to certain questions, they can really understand their weaknesses, okay, their strength, okay, the things that needs to be reinforced, okay, and the combination with the ICOR framework, that is the representation of the tool stack, because that's the ultimate goal, okay? The ultimate goal is end with the perfect tool stack for my needs, okay? In this case, the needs of each of the busy professionals that trust on ICOR. And that's what we have tried, and I think that we have by far achieved with this tool, because now people are able to constantly interact, okay? See the gaps, look for solutions, and what Tom has just said, start sharing, okay? And trying to know what others are doing, okay? With that tool approach, that it's important for us, okay? Because we always say that ICOR is a tool agnostic approach, it's a methodology, okay? But the thing is that at the end, okay, people understand much better tools, okay? And the moment that we combine a methodology that is pretty well tested, okay, with the implementation based on tools, is the moment that everyone better understands everything, okay? And if we, on top of that, create something that you are constantly checking the moment that you consider is how you keep evolving naturally your productivity system and sharing that with others. I think that that's a cherry on top. And all that will be found in this app that we will launch pretty soon.
Yeah, exactly. And another thing is the connection that we build here between the different tools that you just mentioned. So we have the ICOR framework that you mentioned. And that's, as you said, where people lay out their tool stack to get the bird's eye view on their productivity tool stack. But then we also have the ICOR note-taking framework, which is the next step of looking just of PKM tools, so personal knowledge management tools. As we know, if you go through ICOR, you get aware of this, that there are different workflows that you have to do every day. And there might be a reason to use different PKM tools for different types of information. And that's where it's a separate ICOR note-taking framework that you then also lay out and that we also do together with our inner circle members on Miro right now. But this application allows now to link things together. So if people place something in the PKM field on the ICOR framework, the tool knows that you have placed a PKM tool, and now it recommends you to now lay it out on the ICOR note-taking framework too. And it's all based on inbox systems. So we make it all based on our own methodology, right? So we love inboxes. So all you need to do, search for the tools, it ends up in an inbox, and then calmly put them on the map. And by adding it to the PKM area in the ICOR framework, it will automatically add it to the inbox on your ICOR note-taking framework. So obviously, talking about this is always hard to describe, especially such a complex solution that makes things simpler for you, right? But in the back end, you cannot imagine the complexity that we have to handle here. But this being said, once this is running, and once you go into the app, everything will just make sense, especially if you go through the ICOR methodology. This will be a no-brainer to use this application. And, well, we make it for free. That's what we discussed just this morning in our agenda meeting, how we will monetize this tool. Well, obviously, it was always planned for our members and for our inner circle members to be full access. But we thought, no, it's a community-driven tool builder, right? A tool mapper. And therefore, the more the merrier in this case. Everybody will benefit from all the inputs that we get there into the tool. This being said, there might be then some, the recommendations and things like that you get inside the tool. Obviously, we'll send you to lessons and things like that inside the membership that you only get access via membership. But getting access to this for free and comparing it what else you have out there where you have advertising and sponsorships and all this, pretty sure this will be a game changer.
Yes, and the thing is that it's a tool-related tool, okay? But with a tool-agnostic approach, okay? Because if we think about a tool comparison or any other similar tool out there or application, if you start comparing the features between ClickUp and Asana, for instance, the technical features, then the conclusion, even for technical people, don't make any sense, okay? You are not going to conclude anything if you start comparing Notion with ClickUp, and no matter the checkboxes, the columns, the type of diagrams, because you're comparing things that you cannot compare. And this is something that here, okay, it's a total different approach talking about how you map out your tools, okay? Because it's based on common criteria, okay, based on concepts that anyone can easily understand, okay? And based in that is how you can start understanding gaps, redundancies, similarities, how if it's worth it or if it makes sense to compare one tool to another, okay? Here in this ICOR app, you will be able to understand that it's not possible to compare, I don't know, Notion with Sansama, okay? That those are the type of questions that we receive, okay? So people are make comparison that don't make any sense, okay? Don't make any sense. And here they will start understanding also the different type of tools based on how they approach these tools, okay? Because the ICOR framework is a tool that forces you to think, okay? And this is something that if you go to any tool comparison tool, you are not thinking at all, okay? You are just giving some income, okay? You receive an outcome, and then you try to draw conclusions, okay? And that's something that is not possible the moment that you start doing that with a world that is of such complexity of productivity, okay, where you are combining everything, okay? It's a mess. It's a mess because concepts are not defined, boundaries are not created, people don't understand the main difference talking about the main purposes behind each tool, especially because all of them claim that they do it all. So it's impossible to find out a solution to end up with the ultimate goal. That is, I want to have a productive system with the right tools that I can trust on, that make my life easier, and stop that tool switching, okay? Because that's another one of the goals of this type of tools that we deliver, okay? To stop wasting time dedicating to productivity, okay? And instead dedicate time to work. And here, with this dynamism that we have included in this app, we remove all that static approach that we had in the past, okay? And now it becomes something that it's dynamic, okay? That we can also upgrade little by little, because we're not going to go crazy here, because we want this thing to be simple, okay? That even just understanding the main concepts that we explained at the beginning of the ICOR journey, okay, differentiating between the four main areas of the ICOR framework, people will be able to start playing and receiving feedback, okay? Receiving feedback of what they are missing, what they don't understand, where they can grab that information from, all those things. That is pragmatism, okay? At the end, it will be a nice experience. People won't feel that it doesn't make sense, okay? The moment that we bet on common sense is the moment that people start understanding that this is something useful for them. And that's why we deliver this, because we consider that this is much more useful than the previous Miro boards that we had in the past,
yeah,
obviously.
You say it, Miro. I mean, half the people listening don't even know what Miro is, probably. And that's the thing. When we had the inner circle, they need to provide the ICOR framework in order to have the perfect coaching going on. And sometimes it's the obstacle. What is Miro? How do I download this? How do I use this? They are forced to use a third-party application. And that's where we really need to take off this obstacle here, because tools shouldn't be the obstacle. And we cannot, rely on this. And we have other members who just print out the ICOR framework and write the names of the application onto the framework this way. And I think we will make a big step forward with this application this way, as everything will be seamlessly integrated with the current membership too. And yeah, this is this. And I cannot wait to open the doors. And maybe you're listening to this, it's already open. So check it out. If you listen to the recording, right? In the description, surely there's a link where you can join us. Everybody, that was it for today. We wanted just to give this update, and that this was not just an idea. It's becoming real. It's becoming reality. And we hope that you all will enjoy the journey together with us. Have a good time, and we catch you up next week then.
Thank you. See you guys.